recycling tomorrow, 12 until 2 or 3?
2.
Okay?
Today?
And if you have to leave sooner,
Okay.
not a problem. Is it okay if I bring my 10-year-old tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Well, let him.
Who said that? Are you sure?
Yeah. Let's see what your 10-year-old absorbs.
Do you want me to tell you now?
No, I'm
Or
surprised.
do you want to meet him first?
We'll meet him and be surprised. He probably is a genius on here. Let's see if he's fighting stops or when.
Well, the story on this kid is that we went to the Macy's parade when he was 18 months old. And he was in the taxi cab, in the back seat. And at the time, the meter went up 30 cents for each eighth of a mile. So the meter went 30, 60, 90, 120, and Adam says 150, like 180, like
Oh my God.
Oh,
True
yeah,
story.
let him teach tomorrow, that's fine.
true story. He is doing calculus, and I help him all for you.
He's doing what?
Calculus.
Oh, he's teaching.
He would do all this stuff and make you do the math.
Yeah, I definitely want to know.
Is he your middle?
Yeah.
Wow. Or mutual
Yeah.
funds.
Does he have any deficits?
Yes.
Is he
He's a head
left-handed?
case.
Is he left-handed?
I'm sorry?
Is he a left-handed kid?
No, my wife's left-handed. Yeah.
Well, that's.
I'm the dumbest person in the house.
What's your wife?
That's the absolute truth.
What's your wife's occupation besides mom?
She's doing a PhD at the University of Connecticut in educational measurement.
Oh, wow.
Educational what?
Measurement.
Wow.
Yeah.
Educational measurement, like IQ, things like that.
Yeah, except that, you know, they all say IQ is no good, but okay. Yeah, like that. ATS, the Princeton people, you know, they do the SATs and
Yeah.
GRAs and that kind of stuff. Yeah, they design that kind of stuff.
Wow.
No Child Left Behind,
Okay.
testing, she's big into that.
Oh,
Does
wow.
she agree with it or not agree with it?
Not,
Right.
yeah. From a measurement standpoint, not a political philosophy standpoint.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun, but you can't read it. Okay, so I thought I would start out with the patient safety policy, and then I'll give you the option. I've got a lot of this stuff here, and as always, we can't get it all. I put together a couple of lectures on contracts,
Contracts is good.
and in particular, one of them is provider contracts. Okay? Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
What they never told you about what to look for when you negotiate your contracts?
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the demo.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought we did contracts last semester though.
Yeah, I got something more for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought I told you I'd do more.
Okay. Yeah, we just touched on it. Okay.
Okay. I don't have a document camera, unfortunately, but I have a provider agreement that we could go through. It's from South Carolina. I picked it up as part of a lawsuit, so it's confidential. And I'm not supposed to show it to you,
Oh, darn.
but I could read it.
Loophole comes up.
I have a contract coming up for renewal in 2 weeks, so this is awesome.
Okay. How many of you negotiate your own contracts?
I'm sorry.
How many what?
Negotiate your own contracts. How many of you use a lawyer? Okay. I said use, not abuse. Teasing. Okay. Yeah, shall we? Let's do that. If it's boring, we'll stop it. Kathy? Patient safety policy. As always, I take a bit of a different view of some of this. Any of you on the patient safety committee of the hospital? In fact, I'm going to leave 10 minutes early because I got a meeting. What, how big's your committee?
About 20, 25 weeks strong.
Very good. And what do you track?
I'm sorry?
What do you track falls?
Among other things, medication error.
Yes?
Wrong study, wrong,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
and forward as to how we can prevent
Right.
things in the future. Jacob, up and.
Are people serious?
Yes,
Have things gotten better?
yes.
I've been on mine 6 years. It's amazing how much better things are.
Yeah, I really believe that the patient safety committee is a real deal. Also, hand washing, nosocomial infections, pulleys, bath.
Well, yes.
We haven't had a bath in 2 years, so.
What's the hand washing rate for nurses compared to doctors in your place?
Oh, God, it isn't even a comparison. It's, you know, we have somewhere around, in my unit, I would say we have like 95%.
Very good.
We're attached to a sterile unit, we have that. For physicians, it's somewhere around maybe 40% is lucky.
Us too.
You know, but we have silent surveillors that
Yeah.
are watching
Yep.
constantly and taking account.
I know y'all have too much to do, but being on a patient safety committee is really good stuff. It's really rewarding. And if you're a statistician doing it, it's even funner. Okay, so a little bit of history on this. National and state efforts. You saw the other day when I talked about health reform that some of this is going to play out in payment. You know, nosocomial infections and readmissions and what was the other one? They're all going to be part of the health reform and they're not going to pay.
30-day reimbursement.
Do your states have a patient safety authority? We have one in Pennsylvania. I put the report in your packet and just skim it for what they do. One of the questions I'm going to ask as we go along here is, are we measuring and paying attention to the right things? Or are we doing something that I call bias to the measure? So just a theme. Another question I'm going to ask is, do you think it is good or poor public policy to withhold payment for medical errors? This is a big buzz. We'll talk. Joint Commission. Do you all know the Joint Commission, patient safety, gold standards, figures? Do they hit you with them? Have you heard of Six Sigma and Toyota production theory? Okay, we'll introduce it and then talk a little bit about where you all think this is headed. Do you think we get more of it or less of it? And I'll give you sort of an economic spin on it too. So, are you licensed? Hospital licensed? No. Cool. How can that be? You don't have a hospital?
I don't have a license.
You don't have a license?
I have a license
Right,
as an FMP,
right.
and as a registered nurse, but I don't have a hospital license.
Okay, no, but do you practice in any hospital at all? You're freestanding, right?
Freestanding.
Yeah. But all hospitals are licensed, right? Do you have malpractice insurance?
Yes.
Is your hospital accredited?
But I don't work in a hospital.
Okay, but if you work in a hospital, is it accredited?
Yes.
Okay. Does it meet Medicare conditions of participation?
Yes.
Is there credentialing? Okay, so I tell you, why is this, with all of that, why isn't it safe?
It's only good as his work, as his weakest provider.
Truth, huh? But we've already done all this stuff, right? And we still get medical errors. True?
Yeah.
So are you saying to me that this stuff doesn't do much for patient safety?
Some.
Some, but not enough.
Human error, it's like computers. Garbage in, garbage out.
You heard of peer review organizations? Quality improvement organizations, QIOs. External, they review your stuff. Right? Patient safety oriented again, quality oriented. Anybody remember TQM? TQM grease. what you get for that?
A lot of ad girls. I was a boy, I could make as much.
Was it Demi?
Yeah, Demi.
Yeah. Did you read a lot of him?
Yes, I was a product line manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have QA before that?
Yeah.
Do you remember this stuff?
I'm having fun with that.
Uh-huh. They were well made, right? And they sort of came in late.
And they're back again for the primary care medical home, because we're
Oh.
looking at credentialing and
No, I'm
certification so that you have quality improvement systems in order to be a primary care medical home.
I remember.
Yes, they're back again.
Didn't
Wait
remember
long
that.
enough, they'll come back.
I'll have to dust off the books up the show.
In Ohio, we have Hospital 198, which is a primary care medical home. And there are 10 practices across the state, also primary care, 2 nurse managed clinics. Our nurse managed clinic at the University of Akron is one of the pilots in the, or one of the programs in the pilot to set up a primary care medical home arrangement, but there's no money. Casey took it out. Yeah, we're supposed to do it all for $60-some thousand, most of which went to Transformed, which is an organization that is a private enterprise that will come in and set up your CMH.
What do you all think of medical schools? Have you thought about it at all? Yeah, right.
I mean, it's a way to hold nurse practitioners now, and they want to position.
Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, we're done.
What do you think?
Yeah, I hear both sides of that, because when I started this, I was very skeptical of the whole program, but, there's a bunch of PhD nurse practitioners doing it, they swear by it. And, the more I talk to people about it, they swear by it, so I'm not sure.
I don't have a problem with the medical home model, I have a problem with the fact
Who's
that
running it?
apparently the medical home model.
Well, I did also hear that theory that they're trying to incorporate more of this into primary practices so that primary care physicians can bring business back to their primary care practices, so I have heard that too, so I don't know.
So in Vermont, MPs are really working at that table. And we have a few people on their side, so we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So we're really pushing hard
To not do the patient-centered model.
Well, no, it is going to be like medical, but making sure that the MPs are at the top to make decisions that we're not left out. Because, of course, MPs are we are really working hard to say, and we actually have some really good people that are physicians as well, but believe in MPs and feel they need to be there, because that's what's going to make them love things.
Yeah, I'm, at the hospital I'm at, I'm just starting the medical home model. Actually, I work at St. Francis, which is a small hospital in Trenton, but I'm a part of the CHE, which is about maybe 10 other hospitals. And we just sort of basically just started it maybe a few months ago. It's in the baby steps. But what's really nice is the nurse practitioners at the table, the physicians at the table. And what we're trying to really do, like even when we have our meetings, is that everybody's on the same level. Just because you're the physician or I'm the MP, we all have input in order how are we going to take care of this patient. Now, right now what I'm taking care of or following is congestive heart failure patients and diabetes. But in the long run, it's going to be all chronic care. And in a short period of time, number one, it's been very economical for the hospital. I have one patient that I've been following since November, and he has had no hospitalizations since then or unscheduled visits, and I think there was one price tag of like $250,000 that the hospital saved in that period on one patient because of their readmits and all that stuff. So it seems to be really a positive. I love it because it's taking care of the whole person. We do social. I have a social worker. I have a case manager. So I'm just not sort of addressing their diabetes. I'm addressing, okay, do they need housing? Do they need money for medicines? Do they need, it's all encompassing.
Do you get paid for case manager?
I'm getting paid as the NP. Yeah. I'm not, well, the hospital pays me. right
Okay,
now. But I would like
do
to
they
see it
pay
different.
for case manager?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because very often they don't.
Yeah, they are now.
And so your model is actually different than the one I'm looking at, and that's the thing, this model is defined differently, it's a team approach. The team at Pinnacle does not have a nurse practitioner on it, and so I'm already frustrated with that.
Oh, see,
It's
this
a
is really nurse
It's a nurse
practitioner
that
on.
is really running this program, and that, to me already, I like, in the back of my mind, like, well, why do they have a nurse running this program? And she's a case manager. So they're paying her, it's probably cheaper to pay her as a case manager than have a nurse practitioner in that
True.
spot. But really, there should be a nurse practitioner managing.
Yeah, I'm
these
sort of
cases.
directing the group.
So I'm glad that others, and, I was actually talking to somebody at one of my nurse practitioner meetings about the study I'm doing, and I was sort of saying the negative, like what I see the negative side is of this patient-centered model. She's like, oh no, she's like, we do it at Hershey Medical Center, and it's fantastic, but there's nurse practitioners that are running it there.
Yeah,
So, it sounds like yours is more of a nurse practitioner.
yeah, it is.
Have you studied this in any of your classes?
No.
Would you like to know more about it?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to take an hour tomorrow and
Yeah,
Yeah.
some more detail?
Yeah, I would like that.
I'll put something together.
yeah, that'd be great.
Because I'm where you are with it, by the way. I mean, I know what it is, and I know what hasn't happened. And I mean, the begging question is, we've got all these people out there with multiple chronic conditions. It's 80% of what Medicare spends, but Medicare won't spend any money to pay you for putting together a treatment monitoring plan, which makes no sense to me.
But I don't know, like what you said about having a nurse run it, the trend that I've seen, which is kind of disturbing, is I've seen things like hospital nurses who act like nurse practitioners, write orders like nurse practitioners. They just sign verbal order for the physician underneath it. They're running around, St. Luke's is the largest hospital in Milwaukee, and when I went to go train there to start my cardiology position as an NP, half of the people who were there functioning as NPs, which they call them physician extenders, were nurses. And they had no advanced training, not just doctor, not even masters, working basically as nurse practitioners, doing assessments, doing intervention, prescribing things, and signing other people's names.
They do that at my hospital too.
I find that completely and totally disturbing.
How about, I've been thinking through tomorrow to make it meaningful. How about we start out with the medical home
Yes.
and raise some of these issues?
Okay.
And then take the second hour and talk about if you were going to redo health reform, what would you do? Because we're going to have a new round of health reform.
We're starting
Can
early
you
tomorrow,
tell
right?
us how to go about doing this?
Tell you? Do I tell you anything? How to do anything?
No, that's
Does that
what's
bug
so
you?
frustrating. You raised so many questions and I wanted to work
we are.
in.
Okay.
That's actually fair enough.
Yeah.
How about I give you my view on what health reform ought to do?
That's good.
Okay?
You told us last semester, now I'm interested to find out what the.
Okay.
I told Emery to change it so that she could be
Right.
medical director. Tell her how.
Okay.
Tell her who to talk to and.
I started to yesterday, right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Get us all fired up and then we got to listen.
No. Fair enough.
Well, and I already got an email back on the medical director thing, and there's a bigger problem.
What's that?
There's some rules and regulations for things that we can't sign, so we can't be medical director until we can sign everything, because we
Good to
can't
know.
sign things.
Good to know. So
So
that's
there
part
are
of the package.
certain rules and regs of things that we are on it, like do not resuscitate orders, and just a couple of really simple things that we can't sign, because my friend who's a
But
DON,
see,
I
now that
sent
you
her
know
an email.
that, let's go get authority to sign it.
Okay, so you're gonna tell us how
Put
to do
that as part of
that?
the package, right? Sure.
Because changing that would be a federal, that would affect almost every person in this room.
Sure.
Because federally, we cannot apparently sign this piece of paper. So in order for us to be a medical director, we have to be able to sign every piece of paper. Because we can't be like, well, I want to be a medical director, but here, physician, can you just sign these couple of things? Because that puts the power back to them.
In fact, you just got something more important than anything other. Because you've all told me you can practice independently, but if you can't sign those things, you're not an independent practitioner.
Correct.
We got to get that changed.
Correct, that's my biggest
Right.
complaint.
So everybody's going to learn the name of their state representative, state senator, federal congressman, senator, and you're going to figure out, and in your case, with the nursing homes, who runs the state and federal nursing home administration association.
Do that again, federal.
Yeah, see, that's slower.
State and federal.
State senator, federal senator.
Yeah. State, federal, Congress and Senate, right? And in Wisconsin, it's really neat because you can play those people off against each other. They hate each other.
So is it the one where you
Republicans
live
and
or is it the
Democrats.
one where you work?
Huh?
Is it the one where you live or the one where you work?
Both.
Cause like,
Which one's better for you?
well, the new state senator for Wisconsin where I work, was just one of the recall, was just bumped in because of the recall.
Perfect. They're new.
And she's a lawyer too.
Perfect. And she's a she.
And she's a she.
Okay?
You want to say about.
Yeah, okay. Congress, Senate, right, state level. And in fact, if you work in a different place with a different district, you know, than you live, get them both. Okay? And didn't you say you were giving money? Who'd you give money to?
Somebody gave it back.
Okay?
Is it Pat or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Pat.
Pat.
Okay, but Pat Vance, right? Golden. And look, the aides count. In fact, I got a call this morning from the aide to the state senator who's doing the hearings on Highmark UPMC. And this guy's smart, he's attentive, aides count. If you can convince the aide, very often they'll convince the boss.
But how do you get, okay, like, Jessica King is great. I'm really happy that she got elected. I would have voted for her had I been able to. I don't live in that district. I'm perfectly happy that she
You work
took
in
out the goofball that she took out.
You work
But
in-
how does Jessica King change a federal regulation? She doesn't have that power.
She may not change the federal regulation. I said state and federal. But are there things you can get at the state level? Can you get power at the state level to sign for the do not resuscitate?
I think it's a federal regulation.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay.
State this.
And I'm a lawyer.
Didn't you want to say something about it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, then there's associations. There must be associations. Okay. So there will be nursing home associations.
That's a state dispute.
Is that a state?
I think so.
Does anybody have the ability to do that in this room?
What? The federal?
To sign the do not resuscitate our way?
That's a great question.
Recommendation?
Did everybody hear the question?
No.
Yeah.
Can any of you sign the DNR?
No. It's not in our scope of practice.
Not in your scope of practice.
They're trying to push it forward in California.
Okay.
How would it not be in
Does
our,
that mean it's a state issue?
Yes.
Yes.
okay, how would it not be in our scope of practice? I mean, that's what they tell us, but that's absolutely crazy.
Well, what happens now?
Sorry, I had a situation where my patient died and they brought me the death certificate to sign.
Yeah.
And my hospital says I cannot sign.
Yep.
I think that's right.
Pennsylvania, did we? Did
We
we?
can sign, yeah.
We just want that.
You can sign it.
That's what I'm saying, how does that make sense?
My husband said.
Okay.
Yeah, we can sign this. I just.
He needs another, that's only within a couple months.
Good.
That's last month.
Can I get your seat?
Yeah.
So Pennsylvania says, I want
Yes.
their
That's the same.
Yes. But I just got an email
Yes.
today saying that, right before health
Scope of
secretaries.
practice is
I got
state.
that too.
Did you get that, Alexander? You can't report to
It's
health
all
secretaries.
hospital stuff, we can't order.
We're gonna get answers. Everybody death certificate can be signed.
What?
the DNR.
Right.
That's Medicare.
What else?
See, it gets so complicated.
Incapacitation form,
Okay.
That's
even though you
Medicare.
don't know what that is.
You don't have a newsletter?
Medicare, like,
That's your association newsletter?
Sandy,
You stick to statistics, I'll stick to
you get a newsletter from one of our groups. What did you say it was?
I'm sorry?
You get emails from one of our groups.
no, it's the nurse practitioner.
It's Pennsylvania regular test.
Okay.
Pennsylvania has a much more accurate.
Because this would be a great newsletter.
It's a hot issue.
Topic, wouldn't it?
Investigations are very many diagnostic tests in
But-
the long term.
but
I know it's too-
Pennsylvania has a much more accurate.
I know it's too late, but a great capstone project would be scope of practice. Nationwide.
We'll tell open fight about that.
I think it'd be a great project. Okay.